Ciao Tifosi, welcome back to the Italian Football Talk channel. Myself and Graham will be reviewing or recapping match day one of all the games. Very quick, punchy, kind of the key takeaways from each game. So let's get underway. First game of the week was match day one was Turkey-Italy. As we did our little review and post-match mortem, we are very happy with the result of 3-0. Fantastic Italy, unlike Italy performance, dominant, fluid football. And actually set the tournament alight and actually open the tournament with a great result of 3-0 and not a 0-0 drab. So great win for Italy. 3 points in the bag.
And the opening ceremony was pretty damn good with Andrea Bocelli as well.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, can't forget that piece, of course, yeah.
Moving on to the next game that took place the following day, that would be Wales and Switzerland from the same group in A. Bit of a snooze fest, it was a bit of a stalemate between these two sides, which ended in a 1-1 draw.
Then, unfortunately, the same day we had, as we all know, Denmark and Finland. The episode that happened to Ericsson. Unfortunately, the game was suspended for a short period of time, and then obviously restarted with Finland winning 1-0. Ericsson, from as we all know the reports, he suffered a cardiac arrest. And he's doing well. He's recovering well. It's obviously now he's most likely to be out for the rest of the tournament, which is, it's a shame because he's a great player for both club and country. So I put a bit of a down on that game day.
And that downer was quickly followed up with Belgium-Russia, one of the favourites and people's dark horses. This could be the final chance for the golden generation to actually win a tournament. And they kicked off their group in style with a 3-0 win against Russia. Romelu Lukaku from Inter Milan carrying off where they left off the domestic season by scoring a double.
Yeah, and anyone's got him as your fantasy player league is very lucky. As captain as well. On the following day, we had England and Croatia. Kind of the grudge match, as obviously England lost to Croatia in the semis in the last World Cup. England won 1-0 with a Sterling goal. Pretty much, England kicked off 20 minutes, really fast, hard-paced, classic England, and then slowly kind of drifting off. But Imagine turned out and ground out the result of 1-0, which we call the big game of that group, Group D. So 3 points in the bag for England.
And moving on to Group C, the first game to kick off that group was Austria, North Macedonia. People were wondering, how North Macedonia would perform. Actually put in a decent performance against Austria, but inevitably they fell to a 3-1 defeat with the talking point of Marko Arnatovic's goal celebration, if you want to call it. Speculate for yourself what he said. It's been reported what he supposedly did say, but that's all gossip and speculation, but none of it nice.
In the same group, we had Netherlands against Ukraine. What a fantastic match for a Sunday night game. 3-2. Initially, Netherlands leading the game, then Ukraine putting it back, and then Netherlands scoring it towards the end. Some fantastic goals in that game. Jam-packed, couldn't ask for more for a neutral perspective. 5 goals in it, and there we go. So the Netherlands is top of Netherlands are actually second in the group due to the goal difference compared to Austria. So don't get ahead of myself there.
Be surprised if we don't go on to win that group after that performance. And the following day, it was back to Group D. Scotland kicking off their campaign in Hampden. Hopefully, they were hoping for a good performance. It was a decent performance. It didn't last very long until Schick hit the fan. A double from Schick, 2-0 for Czech Republic.
Going back now going to Group E, Poland against Slovakia. This was what I would have expected before Poland to win, with Lewandowski up front. You've got Tech, you've got some great players in the Polish squad. Didn't help with Poland having a red card. And the so-called own goal by Szczesny, own Juventus goalkeeper. I find it a bit harsh that people are being quite hard on him, but it is what it is. It's the rub of the luck, I guess, on that side. But unfortunately, Poland lost 2-1, which I wasn't expecting that against Slovakia. But there you go.
Yeah, match day one has not been a good match day for the Juventus players as far as goals have been concerned. Well, maybe that'll change later on in this recap. Arguably, on paper, the match of the day was again from Group E, which was going to be Spain and Sweden, and it ultimately proved to be ticky-tacky with no end product, a 0-0 draw. Snooze fest.
Pretty much like IKEA's Swedish furniture IKEA, boring and bland. Not much going on.
That's putting it politely.
Moving into the final group, Group F, Portugal and Hungary. First half was a dab, 0-0. Ronaldo missed the absolute sitter from Bruno Fernandes's cross. We're thinking, oh, this cannot be his day, possibly for Ronaldo. But you know, your fool will only discount a man of his stature and of his what he's achieved so far in football. 3-0, 2 goals by Ronaldo. Penalty, yes, penalty, as people call it, but a goal is a goal, chaps, and everyone. And a fantastic second goal, and that takes him 3-0 of that game. So well done to Portugal there.
And of course, match day 1 ended in a bang between France, the favourites, and Germany. You know the old saying, never write off the Germans. Very exciting game. Plenty happened in this. 2 offside goals for France. One was an absolute screamer from Mbappe, but offside. Ultimately ending in a 1-0 victory for France without any French players scoring because it was an own goal from Hummels.
And then therefore Portugal tops the group for now as the goal difference. Yeah. So Graeme, of all the games we talked about, what is your favourite game of match day 1?
It's got to be Netherlands, Ukraine. That was just phenomenal.
Really?
It had everything.
I thought Spain Sweden was fantastic football. You know.
Yeah, sarcasm, my friend, sarcasm. Netherlands was so good. You know, like just from the get-go, the opening 10 minutes, it was just end-to-end stuff. I was surprised neither had scored, but had goals written all over it, and then the goals finally came. Netherlands taking the lead, then doubling their lead for 2-0. You're thinking, game over. That's it. You know, done. No, far from done. Ukraine roared back. Goal of the round for me from Yarmolenko. Stunning goal. But Ukraine came back 2-2. You're wondering what's going to happen next. What did happen next? Netherlands restored their lead and won the game. But yeah, exciting from start to finish.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I think that's the game of the match day 1 was the Netherlands against the old Ukrainians. And Ukrainians fought well, you know, they fought back bravely. But and the worst game of the round, would you say?
Well, you said it yourself. Spain Sweden. Oh, it was such a snooze fest. It was such a snooze fest. Very little happened, and whenever chances came, the finishing was so poor. Particularly from Alvaro Morata, another Juventus player popping up in this conversation. And even from Sweden's point of view, Berg, I don't know how Berg missed that right in front of goal, but he did. 0-0, snooze fest.
No, I agree. I think that was probably one of the worst games of the match day 1. And surprise result for match day 1?
Surprise result? I mean... I'm on paper.
I mentioned before.
On paper, Denmark, Finland, but I mean, for the reasons around it, you know, it's not much of a surprise. Can't really expect the Danish players to perform after witnessing that.
Yeah, I agree. But I think for me the surprise result was Slovakia against Poland, especially with Lewandowski, who was on an unbelievable goal form. Just, you know, you've got Portugal, you've got Ronaldo carrying a team up, then Lewandowski will carry Poland, but really didn't happen. So I was surprised with that result. But and finally, goal of match day 1. What was your goal of match day 1?
Yarmolenko. I'm not having this Schick patter. I'm not having it. The goalkeeper was at fault. In case you haven't seen it, folks, David Marshall, Scotland goalkeeper, cosplayed as a freaking midfielder. He just wanted to get a better view of what was happening at the other end of the pitch. He came right out into the midfield, caught in no man's land. Patrick Schick gets a ball. Great technique, great vision from his point of view, but I'm not having that being goal of the round, as good as it was. Yarmolenko, you know, he didn't have the time or anything, and he curled it into the top corner. That was just beautiful. Ironically, I would have went for Kylian Mbappe, but his goal was ruled offside.
Yeah. Well, we can't start now putting all the goals offside into it. But I agree. Milenko's goal for UK was an absolute stunner. I love the long distance goals anyway. But even though Schick was quite, to be fair, like you said, David Marshall was cosplaying midfield. So I don't know what on God's earth was he doing up there. But
Standard Scotland.
So there you go. So not only did the Netherlands-Ukraine game was the best game for match day 1, but it also had the best goal of match day 1. So there you go. That's your roundup, Tifosi, for match day 1.
Ciao for now, and until next time.
Ciao for now.